So in 1981, I was going to St. Edward's University, and I was given a chance to either take a semester of academic Spanish or go live with a Mexican family for a couple of months down in Cuernavaca, Mexico, and do a homestay immersion course. And so I went for the trip to Mexico, of course, and I went down there, and I was transformed by the experience. I truly was. I spoke a little Spanish, and I'd been to on a couple of family trips to Cozumel, or I think we went somewhere else. Certainly down to the border towns of Reynosa, and we'd go dove hunting there every year. And anyway, we stayed with this family, La Familia Tellez. It was me and one other St. Edward's University student that went to stay with his family. And they had a pretty nice house and a couple of guest rooms off the back porch. But it was a transformational experience. It truly was. We'd go to school, me and this other student, Ken, we'd go to school in the morning, and then we'd come home for lunch. And it was the lunchtime thing, the almuerzo, that really, really touched me. So Mama would have been making some fabulous Mexican lunch, and to this day, some of the most memorable Mexican food I've ever had in my life. And different kind of salsa on the table every day, fresh corn tortillas from the tortilleria on the corner, and it was fabulous food, and it's clearly made with love. But the highlight was, Papa would come home from his furniture store, his muebleria, and their two children, two girls, would come, and they'd come back from high school or whatever, and they were used to having students in their home. It's kind of how they made extra money. But they would sit and talk at that lunch table for 2 or 3 hours, and it wasn't long before I noticed that after the meal was over, they weren't scampering away to go to their respective televisions like we did at my house. They hung around the table. They talked to Papa. He was this fun guy, and they wouldn't allow us to speak English in the house. Mama had a little ruler in her apron, and she, if she caught us speaking English in the house, she'd say, "No, señor, no puede conversar en inglés aquí en esta casa. Eres un estudiante. Tú necesitas aprender español." And she kind of bat you with that ruler. It was fun, and Papa, he was very patient, I would say, and he was always trying to help you understand what he was saying. They all spoke English, but they wouldn't speak it to us, And as I'm driving along the Mexican border here towards Candelaria, I'm just reminded of how romantic that whole thing was, and how it was the first time in my life that I truly wanted to learn how to speak Spanish and understand what these people were saying. And to a little shout out to the Familia Tellez, wherever you are. I'm guessing you're probably still in that little house on Avenida Zapata in Cuernavaca, and I loved my experience there. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias, if you can hear me. So now we're headed into Candelaria, it looks like, and we'll see what this is.